Hello Cancer, great to have you here. My name is Shauna. Today's reading is a general love forecast for November 2025. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Cancer. First message that I have here is they mentioned like after a period of hopping around, some of you are now settling down, okay? And I feel like this message for some of you applies to love relationships, okay? So it's almost like you were hopping around, you know, like dating multiple people. And this is the month in which you realize that, you know what, all relationships require a lot of work, or a lot of hard work in order to make things work. Okay, so you might have met a few people that you realize, oh, this one is, you know, not really jiving with me. This one is not too compatible with me, while this other one is too rambunctious for me, and so forth. And then through that period of dating, of social experimentation, you might realize that, you know what, we're all people, we all have flaws, so all relationship partners require work. And then others of you, this is playing out in your work situation. I feel like for some of you, you might have wanted, you know, to do things in a very non-traditional way. So that means wanting, like feeling somehow, I'm getting this energy, feeling somehow that you're not cut out for the traditional 9 to 5, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Some of us have different skill sets, and we're not cut out for the traditional, you know, the traditional work routine. But I feel for some of you, it's not so much that, you know, not wanting to do the 9 to 5, but it's more like you want to cut corners. That's what it feels like to me. And you might have thought about, you know, get rich quick schemes. You might have, you know, dabbled in a few things. You might have done things in a very non-traditional way, and other people have warned you against doing that. And you might realize this is the month where you might need to leave that behind and seek employment or seek relationships and really work hard at your work situation to make it the best that it can be, or really work hard at your relationships to make it the best that it can be, okay, to bring some potential to it. And so the period of hopping around and, you know, social experimentation, I feel like it might not be appropriate anymore coming into this month, and depending on where you are. And I feel like a lot of you that are watching this are on the older end, such as, you know, like I would say 37 and above. And you have, you know, long-term stability to worry about. Okay, so I feel like you are kind of like a little bit worried right now about, you know, you're worried about retirement. You're worried about stability in your household. You're worried, concerned whether or not the people you love will have will be taken care of when you're no longer in the picture. So I feel like you're worried and concerned about big picture things. And as a result of that, it's really important for you to, you know, settle down. It's really important you feel like, you know, it's crunch time, pretty much. And so my advice here is I feel that things surely will settle down. And it's going to take some time, okay? But cutting corners is not going to be good for you. Do things by the book. Obey, you know, social order, social structure, hierarchy, etc. And in any environment, I feel like seniority plays a really important role, especially for this month. So try not to skirt issues, try not to cut corners, and really work at things, okay, in order to have the life that you want and to have the relationship even that you want. So that's very important. So going back to that last message about, you know, seeing the bigger picture, seeing like the end in sight and what you want your life to look like. I'm sensing right now, a lot of you emotionally, you're not feeling too hot right now. And what I mean by that is I feel generally that like when you have a relationship partner, right, you get very attached to them. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's just the nature of a water sign. And even if you, so let's just say, you know, when you have a relationship partner, you want to spend a lot of time with them. You want them to be around. You want to, you know, nurture and just really be there for your partner, and vice versa. You want your partner to be there for you as well. And so I'm feeling that some of you are in relationships here where the other person is very loving, very, very giving towards you, right? Like they really, put you on a pedestal, and they really like hype about you. They talk about you so much to their friends, to their family. They're very proud of being in your presence. And so I feel overall that because of this energy, you're not really sure like whether or not. So I feel like some of you are staying in the relationship because the other person really, really cares about you, really, really digs you, really loves you, while you might not feel the same way. You might not be able to reciprocate. You might not be able to, love them to the same extent. But you stay in the relationship because I feel like it's safe, it's stable, it's very content. Reminds me of the Scorpio reading. So if for whatever reason you're dealing with a Scorpio, and especially if it's a romantic partner, the energy is very similar to a Scorpio reading, whereas you feel like you might not be able to reciprocate, but at least it's a safe choice. Okay, so a lot of you are stagnating in a relationship because it's the safe thing to do. And then I feel like for others of you, you have so much love and support from the other partner, but there might be an element of distance between you and them, like overseas, or both of you or you are traveling a lot, so you're not able to spend a lot of quality time with each other, and you find yourself kind of like grown apart, and you find the relationship very demanding, mainly because of all the travel, of all the obligations, of all the like it's almost like they need a lot more from you, or you need a lot more from them. That relationship demands a lot more from both people. So you might, figure out like, how do we do this? Where do we go from here? Do we take turns seeing each other so that everything is fair? Or how is it going to work? How is that going to look like? So I feel like a lot of these things are going to be hashed out regarding, if one person has been doing all the work, then I feel that, things will be hashed out. You will be able to communicate with your partner and arrive at some type of a compromise. So then both parties can contribute equally to the relationship. Okay, so that's what I feel. I do feel as well, this is the month in which some of you might get a little bit of a leg up in the work environment. Okay, so I feel like overall, this is a card about it's very good karma coming home to roost. Okay, so somebody might be in your alley, like vouching for you, saying good things about you, giving you a very great performance review, for example. And I also feel that they're going to be in a position to give you a leg up. So letter recommendation, reference, providing a reference for you, providing, just some good words coming your way, so that if you are looking for work, for example, you get a leg up in that interview process. You get a leg up when it comes to, negotiating for salary, or even, landing a new job. So I do feel things are looking good for you because you have somebody helping behind the scenes to move things along. So there's an act of generosity that will allow you to increase your financial situation via new jobs that you can attain, or getting like a pay increase, or getting something like a leg up in the work environment. Okay, so it's looking good. Finances will be really good. I feel like the beginning of this year, like the first 2 months and also the last straight, but it feels like from one month to the next, things fluctuate greatly, so you can't really budget. And then for others, it was just, odd jobs here and there, very strong, unstable, like fluctuations in your finances. And I feel like this is the month in which things will start to stabilize for you. Okay, things will really, really solidify. And well, contingent upon us making smart decisions, right? But I feel that you're getting a lot of help, you're getting a lot of assistance. For those of you who are thinking about moving homes, releasing property, buying new property, this is not a good month to buy. I don't advise it, okay? It's not a good month to buy. It's a good month to sell. It's a good month to, if you have last minute things that you need to fix up in your house, if you're even renting and you're trying to release the apartment and rent something else, that's fine. But I feel like there's some fixing up that needs to happen here before you can get appraised and before you can even release the property, like liquidate. Okay, so I feel that a lot of you will be changing location, a lot of you will be releasing property, and I feel that you're talking to some financial consultants about your financial planning, your future. I feel some of you are talking to attorneys. If you have like a partner that you share property with, that you might have been married to, I feel that you are consulting, some type of legal advisor in order for you to extract yourself and to come away from this cleanly. So I feel that I see people sending out a lot of paperwork, like making multiple copies of something, filling out very detailed, minute, like data. I see, social security numbers. I feel like these are very strong, like either applying for loans, applying for new jobs, or applying for something that is through an official, a very official body, okay, a very official like institution. And I feel some of you might need to put something down for collateral, some big ticket item, possibly a house, possibly like a property, or like a plot of land, or even just something very big for collateral because you're trying to take out a loan. But either way, I don't think this is a good month overall, okay, for buying new property. It's a good month for releasing new property. And I feel that if you are consulting somebody to extract yourself, you're going to be successful, because I feel that the odds are in your favor. Okay, I do sense that overall. What I do feel as well, and I'm getting this message here about, you really know what you need to do. Okay, so if people are telling you, people in your household environment, people who are in your social circle, you should do this, you should do that. And if they're feeding you things that they feel you should do with your life, and no matter how high, no matter how you regard them, so even if you respect them, you need to really trust yourself and to really understand that this is your life, and you need to do what's appropriate for you. And rather than, succumbing to social expectations or succumbing to what people tell you you should do, okay? So what is socially acceptable for other people might not fly for you this month. Cancer. So be very careful. Like, this is a card about, knowing deep down what we want, what we need, what we have to do to make ourselves emotionally happy and satisfied. Okay. So you know what you need to do. And so all these external expectations coming through from other people, they're just, echoes in the periphery of your life. They should not have any bearing on, the decisions that you're making. In the work environment, so if you have been jumping around at a few jobs, right, and you finally found a job where somebody might have put in a good word for you, and then you got hired at that job, and you're trying to, prove yourself. You're trying to let them know that, yes, I name drop in order to get in, but I'm going to work to the best of my capabilities. I feel that's the right way to go. Keep your head low. Don't get too involved in office politics with coworkers and things like that. Just keep your head low, lay low. And I feel that the work is going to pan out really tremendously well. I do feel you're going to start to accumulate quite a bit of wealth and, disposable income for yourself, okay? So in that regards, I do sense that it looks very good. But overall, I feel like some of you are trying to restart your life. Restart your life by stabilizing your financial situation, consulting lawyers to extract yourself from some type of an agreement, like a marriage, or even like an engagement, or even some child custody issues. And I do sense that on the one hand, your living situation, you're still trying to figure out what to do, how to stabilize that. But options will be made available for you. This is coming through, I feel like, in about 3 months. The housing situation, yes, it's important, but you need money above all else to do other things. Okay, so think of it as this is what you need to focus on right now, and especially for the next 3 months. And then the housing situation, it will resolve itself and things will be okay. All right. So small steps, Cancer, small steps. Don't get ahead of yourself. Okay. And I honestly feel that this is a card really about spiritual guidance. Okay. Like getting a lot of psychic energies, getting a lot of assistance from other people. And a lot of the times too, some of us, we feel like, oh, we're so lucky because, we have so much help from other people. When we want to better ourselves, when we want to do the right thing, and when we are adamant about what we need to do in order to move our lives forward, that basically allows you to get in touch with source energy, which will allow you to attract people that will want to help you along the way, that can give you guidance. They can be perfect strangers. They don't have to be people that you know. But I feel that you might have noticed, last month and then this month, things are not so difficult anymore as it was, last year and the first 3 months of this year. You're going to start to realize that you're coming across people that actually have a lot to offer and that they want to help you. Okay. And it's mainly because your mindset has shifted. You're trying to better yourself and you have real motivation, not just for self-betterment, but you want to be a more well-rounded person. You want to be a more well-developed person. And I feel that the people that are coming through really want to help you. Okay, and they're there because they're divinely guided to come into your life to provide the support that you need in this transitional period in your life. Okay, so I feel things are going to be okay, Cancer. So just hang in there. Okay, things will be really good for you. I feel as well, travel, a little bit of travel, talks about travel and things like that coming through. I feel that there are like conflicting demands. So some of you might have like engagements with, to travel with friends, with lovers, and then others of you, family wants to come see you. So there's a conflict of interest when it comes to timing, when it comes to who you want to travel with and where you want to travel to, as it relates to, you might have already planned something with a lover, and then your family happens to want to be in town that weekend, so there's that logistical hurdle that you need to really sort out. Okay, so that's pertaining to those who are thinking about travel and such. And I honestly feel that the work situation is a little bit too busy to allow you to fully travel and take the vacation days necessary in order to travel. Okay, so let's see what's in store for you guys for love. A lot of wealth accumulation, so it's looking good. So once again, going back to the initial message that I mentioned, some of you have been, running around, and I feel like I don't feel like you're being deceitful or anything like that, but I feel like you're playing the field, like, you're dating multiple people, and then you realize that, what, relationships are a lot of work. So I'm feeling that, and I'm feeling like at this present moment you have options, but you need to make a decision here about which relationship you need to go with. And I feel honestly, it's not that you shy away from commitment or you shy away from hard work. It's just a lot of you are very, very idealistic and you want a specific relationship to be a very specific way. So you think that like relationship, it's a meeting of, two people that are kindred spirits. And when they're kindred spirits, things should be easy. Things should be automatic. Things should, just flow, right? And yes, physically and emotionally, things should flow. But with every relationship, it requires give and take. It's a two-way street and it requires work, okay? So some of you might be learning that lesson, and you might be on the younger spectrum, watching this, and you are learning this lesson that they all require a lot of work. And if you want a specific outcome from your relationships, you might need to invest, a lot of time in. And I apologize for the dogs barking in the background. It's nighttime, and there are a lot of cats that pass outside of the window, and they just bark and bark and bark. So let's see here. Okay, so here's just, first of all, Financially, I feel like a lot of you are in a very good space and you want to take a relationship to the next level. So I feel like, the past few years have been all about wealth accumulation. So we have here the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles, some of you might even be freelancing, self-employed, okay? And you also have like the regular Nine of Fives. So we have here the Ten of Pentacles, which is the apex of financial achievement. So I feel that financially things are really, really good. Your pockets are lined with money, and you are professionally very, very stable right now. And as a result of it, as a result of all this wealth, as a result of professional recognition, as a result of feeling as if you have succeeded, I do feel at this point a lot of you are shifting gears to really focusing on your relationship and trying to, figure out who's going to be a good partner for you, and trying to figure out like if you're ready to take a relationship to the next level. I feel that some of you are involved here with the fire sign. So this is a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I feel like this person is somebody who is also very, very financially stable, okay? So I'm seeing the energy of a power couple here. Both people, both parties are very financially lucrative. They're very independent, very self-sufficient. And I feel like this is somebody that has a little bit of a jealous streak, okay? When she or he is upset, they don't always, want to verbalize why they're upset. I feel like they sulk a little bit, which is unusual for a fire sign. This is somebody who's very feisty, who has a little bit of a jealous streak. And I do feel that you want to take things to the next level. You want to solidify your relationship with this person. What I'm also feeling as well is I see a lot of work, career, public image things getting in the way of having the relationship that you want. So on the one hand, work is going really well. Your public image is, you're getting very positive reception overall. And so you don't know if you should, continue pursuing your public image, and especially continue dating around some more before you commit to a person. But I feel that a lot of in the past too, I feel some of you in a very, very public environment. Like if you're in the limelight for your work, some things that have happened in your past relationships, especially infidelities and things like that, might be coming up through gossips, through the grapevine, to really hurt your professional image. So be very, very careful about that, okay? I feel that's a very small minority of you. If you are um, in the public sphere, try to minimize, social media, try usage of social media, advertising so much of what you're doing on social media, because I'm sensing that, there's some I feel like some dubious, they're saying like some questionable things about relationships coming back from the past, and I feel that somebody is kept in the dark, and I feel like this is the month in which, light will be shown upon that, okay? So just be very careful about social media. Be very careful if you are using social media in every way, even to, if you have a professional account, make sure that it is completely separate from your personal account, because I feel like that's coming through, okay? Or if it hasn't come through, I feel like that has come through. If it hasn't come through in the past, it's going to be coming through for this month. I feel like for some of you, this is something that you are already doing damage control on, and you're vowing not to let it happen again. But I feel like it might affect your public image, your credibility, okay? So just be very careful. Overall, so we have here a very strong fire sign, and I feel that you want to take the relationship to the next level with this person, or this person is really adamant about keeping you in their lives and wanting to have something a little bit more exclusive with them. I feel that the fire sign is making a little bit more demands on you. So there's a lot of late nights, staying up, wanting to communicate, and I feel like they have a jealous streak about them. I do sense that with this person. So on the one hand, the excitement, the relationship is very exciting. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of chemistry, and a lot of stability, because this person really cares about you. But on the other hand, I do feel like temper tantrums flying, and I do feel as well that person might be, I feel like when they're upset, they need you to be there to walk them through it. And it might take a long time, and you have other obligations, other work responsibilities that you need to do. So it's turning out to be a lot of work. And, you might realize that all relationships are a lot of work, and whether or not this is going to be worth it for you. So I feel that some of you are trying your very hardest to appease this person because you really care about this person. And then I feel for others of you, there is some type of family situation, whether you have a family together with another person, like a partner, or whether there are children in the picture here. There's going to be some decision process, some decision-making processes concerning a child and concerning whether or not the family situation is still the best option for the child. So I feel like, child support coming through. And I feel as well news, information regarding a child, as it relates to, a person that you've had a relationship with in the past. You might have a child with them. And I feel like you're at an impasse here as to, in terms of like child custody agreement. So we have here the Judgment card, and the Judgment card deals with communication. And this is communication where you're not really sure what to believe. So I feel like your family members might be telling you, here's what's happening with the child, or here's what's happening with your ex. And you're not really sure. You're not really, like, you have already moved on. You have already moved on. You have already, turned your back on that person. But if it's related to a child, you don't really know what to believe, and you don't really know, like, what to do in that situation. So I feel like there's going to be some requirement of, like, financial assistance coming through. And it's linked up here with family, and it's linked up here with a child, okay? So I'm really sorry, you guys. They're overly active today. And so I feel like a lot of you are coming into this month already in a relationship and wanting to take with a partner that really wants you to take a relationship to the next level. I feel like I'm not getting, like other areas here. So I also see this as well. You might have a new job coming into the picture, and you and your partner might be separated. If you take